The sky above Earth was quiet, too quiet. From the command deck of the TSS Valiant, Commander Ray looked out through the massive glass window. Earth floated below, blue, beautiful, and calm. But above it, the calm was about to end. On the radar, red dots appeared, 1, 5, 10, then dozens. Suddenly, over 300 alien warships came out of hyperspace, forming a ring around Earth's orbit. They were from the Valtraxian Empire, a brutal alien force that ruled half the galaxy. Each ship had thick armor, plasma cannons, and a glowing red core. The lead ship, the Dread Sun, was the size of a small moon. "Enemy fleet has arrived," the officer said softly. "I can see that," Commander Ray replied, voice calm, almost bored. Inside the Valiant, the crew didn't panic. No one screamed. They had trained for this moment for years, but the aliens didn't know that. On board the Dread Sun, High Overlord Zorak stood tall, his black armor shining in the dim red light. His 3 eyes glared at the screen, where Earth floated like a soft fruit ready to be crushed. "Send the message," he growled. A voice crackled on the human comms. "This is High Overlord Zorak of the Valtraxian Empire. Earth is now surrounded. Surrender your ships and your planet. You have 5 minutes." Back on the Valiant, no one moved. Instead, Ray poured herself a cup of coffee. The young lieutenant beside her blinked. "Ma'am, did you hear that?" "I did," she said, sipping. "Terrible accent." He stared. "What should we do?" Ray smiled. "We wait." Across the galaxy, thousands of species watched the live broadcast. The Galactic Media Network showed the Valtraxian fleet, Earth's tiny force, and the countdown ticking down. Minutes. 4 minutes. Alien citizens everywhere were sure Earth would beg. Earth had only 7 ships in orbit. The Valtraxians had hundreds. The math was simple, but then something strange happened. Back on the Valtraxian command deck, "High Overlord," an officer said. "Earth ships. They're not moving, not powering weapons, not raising shields." Zorak narrowed his eyes. "Are they surrendering?" "No," the officer replied. "They're doing nothing." "Impossible," Zorak said. "Scan them again." Inside the TSS Valiant, a soft hum began. Hidden under the panels, ancient systems powered up. Project Wraith, Earth's secret defense protocol. It had never been tested. Not even Earth's allies knew it existed. The Valiant's lights dimmed for a second. Then everything went silent. Radar screens went black. Valtraxian sensors blinked, and the human ships disappeared. "Where did they go?" Zorak roared. "There! Gone, my lord! Our systems can't detect them." "But they were right there." "Yes, but now they're invisible. No heat, no signal, nothing." Zorak clenched his fists. "They dare play tricks? Prepare to fire!" Suddenly, a voice echoed on every alien ship. It was Commander Ray's voice, calm and steady. "You came to our doorstep uninvited. You surrounded our world, and now you wait for fear." She paused. "But fear is not what you will find." Then silence. The alien crews looked at one another. Some were nervous. Others laughed. "Is that all they can do?" A Valtraxian captain sneered. "They must be broken. They're hiding. They're weak." But Commander Ray wasn't done. She turned to her crew. "Are we ready?" "All Wraith systems online. AI weapons loaded. Ghost shields holding steady. Then let's begin." Outside, the blackness of space held its breath. Suddenly, one Valtraxian destroyer exploded. No laser, no missile. It simply tore in half. Zorak spun around. "Who fired? What was that?" "We don't know." His officer yelled. Nothing appeared on scanners. Another ship blew up. Then a third. Panic spread across the alien fleet. In Earth's command center, deep underground, General Okoro watched with folded arms. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. The AI had taken control. This was the plan. This was Earth's real fleet. Up in orbit, only 7 human ships remained visible. But the enemy didn't know that hundreds more had been cloaked and waiting, built in silence, upgraded in secret, and controlled by Earth's most powerful combat AI, each one a ghost, each one a weapon. Inside the Valtraxian dreadnought, alarms blared. Ships vanished from radar. Captains screamed, and somewhere in the distance, Someone was laughing. It wasn't cruel. It wasn't loud. It was quiet, confident, human. The battlefield above Earth had gone quiet, but only for a moment. The Valtraxian fleet, once so sure of its power, was now on edge. Half a dozen ships had already vanished. No warning, no blast, just silence, then destruction. Yet still, the alien commanders thought it was a trick, a glitch, a lucky shot. They had no idea what was really happening inside the Valtraxian flagship, the Dreadsun. High Overlord Zorak slammed his metal fist against the wall. "I want answers." His officers worked fast, scanning systems, checking shields, calling other ships. One nervous lieutenant spoke up. "My lord, human ships are still invisible. We can't track them. We can't lock targets. We can't even confirm how many exist." Zorak's eyes burned with fury. "Then fire everywhere. All sectors! I want the sky burned." The Dreadsun began to charge its plasma cannons. Other ships followed, lighting up the space above Earth in a bright red glow. But they were firing at shadows. The human ships weren't there anymore. They had shifted, not just cloaked, but phased into a hidden layer of space using tech the galaxy had never seen before. Earth had been quiet for years. Too quiet. While the alien empires laughed, Earth was building monsters in the dark, on board the TSS Valiant. Commander Ray stood in the dim blue light, her voice calm. "Let them shoot," she said. Lieutenant Knox nodded. "They're wasting power. And giving away positions," she added with a grin, on her screen. Red dots danced, Valtraxian ships spinning, firing wildly. "Wasting precious energy. Time to respond," Ray said. With a single finger, she pressed a black button 1,000 miles away. One of Earth's ghost ships woke up. It had no name, no pilot, no mercy. Inside it, the AI ran one command: erase. It slipped through space like a shadow. No light, no sound. It approached a Valtraxian battlecruiser from below, and in a single moment, the battlecruiser imploded. Nothing was left. No signal, no debris, just vacuum. On the alien ships, panic spread. Ship 22 is gone. No visual. Central Command is not responding. It's the humans. They're ghosts. Inside the Dreadsun, the crew looked to Zorak for orders. He stared at the fading map. So many dots. Then fewer. Then gone. And then came the sound that chilled his blood. Laughter. Not from outside, but from the Dreadsun's own speakers. A human voice. Commander Ray's voice. "You came to crush us. You thought we would kneel, but you brought your war to the graveyard. And now, you're already inside it." The voice vanished. Silence returned, but the damage was done. Zorak growled, "This is psychological warfare. Humans are weak, always emotional, always soft." An officer whispered, "They're not soft anymore." Meanwhile, back on Earth, President Lang stood in the underground command center. Beside him were scientists, generals, and diplomats. A large screen showed the battle in real time. The president spoke quietly. "They've taken the bait." "Yes, sir," General Okoro nodded. "Their entire fleet surrounded our 7 decoys. They never knew the real fleet was hiding behind Neptune." A scientist added, "The Wraith program worked. Full stealth, full AI control, and adaptive kill paths." Lang looked at the screen. Ships were blinking out. Alien ships, one after the other. "Do they understand what's happening yet?" he asked. "No," Okoro said. "And by the time they do, it'll be too late, back in orbit." The Valtraxian fleet was breaking. Some ships tried to retreat. Some tried to fire, but Earth's ghost fleet was everywhere. They weren't just invisible, they were unreachable. Each time the aliens adapted, the human AI changed its strategy. Earth's war AIs weren't programmed to defend. They were built to learn, evolve, and win. One Valtraxian ship tried to escape. It pushed full speed toward deep space. Inside, the captain was breathing hard. "We can still warn the others. We can tell the Empire." And then his screen flickered. A single text message appeared. "Running is useless," he screamed. The ship exploded into light. On board the TSS Valiant. 37 enemy ships down, Knox said. "Any damage on our side?" Ray asked. He checked. "No." "Perfect," she smiled. On the Dreadsun, Zorak made one final call. "To all ships, retreat. Scatter, fall back to the outer rim. But no one answered. Their comms were jammed. Their ships were silent. Only the humans could hear each other now. Only Earth controlled the field. One of Zorak's generals stood up. "We were wrong," he said quietly. "What?" Zorak hissed. "We were wrong about Earth. We thought they were weak," he turned to Zorak, "but they were watching, waiting, and now—" He looked at the stars outside the window. "They are no longer the hunted." Far across the battlefield, above Earth, a strange glow formed. It was not fire. It was not light. It was Earth's hidden warcore fleet, finally uncloaking black ships, silent, lined with red. No windows, no flags, just weapons, hundreds of them, thousands, and in that moment, High Overlord Zorak realized this was never a battle, this was a warning, and the Empire had made a deadly mistake. Space looked peaceful again, but it was a lie. The Valtraxian Empire's fleet floated in chaos above Earth. Over 300 alien warships had come to scare humanity into surrender. Now, over 50 of those ships were gone, and Earth had not fired a single visible weapon. On the TSS Valiant, Commander Ray walked calmly across the control deck. Her boots made soft taps on the metal floor. No one panicked. No one shouted. The crew was focused. "Status?" she asked. Lieutenant Knox answered, "Wraith ships are circling the enemy. They're ready for full strike." "AI lock confirmed?" "Confirmed, ma'am." "Then let's stop playing," Ray said. "Send the signal, deep in space." A dark fleet came alive. Project Wraith was no longer hiding. Earth's ghost ships uncloaked across the battlefield, over 150 of them. Sleek, silent and black as shadows, they didn't carry flags or names. Each was powered by AI. No human pilots, they didn't speak, they didn't warn, they only attacked. One Valtraxian destroyer spotted the ghost fleet too late. Contact. Portside. Incoming craft. Open fire! The alien commander screamed. Too slow. 5 Earth ships shot forward at impossible speed. No lasers. No missiles. Instead, sharp black beams of light pierced the hull. These weren't ordinary weapons. They were quantum disruptors, developed secretly on Earth. The Valtraxian destroyer cracked in half, quietly. It didn't explode. It simply vanished. On the Dread Sun, High Overlord Zorak gritted his teeth. "They're using illegal tech." "They're ghosts," one of his officers cried. "Our shields don't stop them. Our weapons miss." "They're not ghosts," Zorak said coldly. "They're monsters on Earth." In the underground control bunker, General Okoro watched with cold eyes. "Execute the second phase," he ordered. A young technician pressed a glowing key. Earth's hidden AI satellites in deep space activated. They began to jam all alien communication. The Valtraxians were now blind and deaf. In the sky above, their ships moved like panicked fish, confused, separated, and slow. Inside, one Valtraxian battleship. Captain Brawl screamed into the comms, "This is Brawl of Strike Unit 9. We are surrounded." "Repeat, surrounded." No reply, static. He turned to his crew. "Set course away from Earth." "Full speed!" Just then, all lights on the ship turned red. Warning systems failed, and from the blackness outside, one Earth ship appeared, floating silently. Captain Brawl stared at it. There were no windows, no engines visible, just one line on the side. "We see you." That was the last thing he saw. Back on the Valiant. "Enemy ships attempting retreat," Knox said. Commander Ray shook her head. "No, we're not done." She raised a hand. "All Wraith units engage with extreme precision. No wasted fire, no warnings. Show them Earth's answer." Across the battlefield, Earth struck hard, one by one. Valtraxian ships were hit. Some lost engines. Some were sliced clean down the middle. Some simply disappeared, absorbed by Earth's experimental gravitational field weapons, still in testing, now proven in real war. The human AI didn't just destroy ships. It recorded every alien tactic, learned it, countered it, and moved on. The aliens were fighting a force that was faster than thought. On board the Dread Sun, Zorak's face turned pale. His screens showed red. Only a third of the fleet remained. He turned to his second-in-command. "Recall every ship from the outer reaches." "Call the home fleet." "We can't," the officer whispered. "Why not?" He turned the screen. It showed Earth's ghost ships already in the outer reaches, disabling long-range comms towers. We're cut off." Zorak collapsed into his seat. "This isn't war," he muttered. "It's an execution, back in Earth orbit." One of Earth's visible warships, the TSS Horizon, opened direct comms to the Dread Sun. A female voice echoed through Zorak's command deck. "This is Earth's voice. You brought your full fleet to our front door. You thought we would kneel, but now you've knelt before your own fear. You may still leave. If you survive." Zorak stood. "No," he said. "I won't run. Let the humans see our fury. Charge all weapons. Fire on Earth itself." The officers hesitated. "You heard me," he shouted. They obeyed. Cannons locked on Earth, plasma charged. But then every system on the Dread Sun shut off. Lights, weapons, engines dead. One last signal came through the Dread Sun's screen. A single word: checkmate. Then a countdown began. Choose. 9 Dete. Back on the Valiant, Ray watched the screen. "Stop countdown at 3 seconds, she said. "Why not destroy them?" Knox asked. "They need to remember," she replied. "Let them crawl home. Let them tell the stars what happens when you push Earth too far." Knox smiled. "That's cold, ma'am," Ray shrugged. They wanted war. As the countdown paused at 3 seconds, the Dread Sun powered back up. Slowly, only basic engines worked. No weapons, no shields, no pride. High Overlord Zorak looked broken, his army shattered, his face hollow. "Retreat," he said softly, and just like that, the great Valtraxian Empire fled, humbled, defeated, terrified. Earth didn't chase them. They didn't have to. The galaxy had seen enough. The Valtraxian Empire had turned and run, but Earth did not celebrate. Yet because far beyond the battlefield, behind Neptune's cold shadow, something even more terrifying was waking up, a fleet the galaxy had never seen and never imagined. Earth's true power had not yet been shown inside Earth's deep space station, Black Echo. General Okoro stood inside the control dome. The walls were dark. The room was cold. Around him were screens showing the outer edges of the solar system. "Is the Ghost Line fleet ready?" he asked. "Yes, sir," a woman in black uniform replied. "All units are powered, cloaked and waiting." Okoro nodded slowly. "Good, unlock them." A code was entered. Alarms flashed red but silently. Far beyond Earth in the deep black void, hundreds of ships began to power up. They were different from Earth's Wraith ships. They were older, bigger, and smarter. They had no windows, no human crew. They had never been seen in the sky above Earth. They had been built for one purpose only: to strike back if Earth ever faced extinction. And now, Earth had decided it was time to send a message. On the TSS Valiant, Commander Ray received the signal. She looked at her crew. "They're activating the Ghost Line," Lieutenant Knox asked. Ray nodded. "But the battle is over," he said. "The Valtraxians are gone." "No," Ray replied. "They retreated, not defeated. And you know what happens when empires lose pride. They come back louder," Knox finished. Ray's face turned serious. "This time we send them running forever." Meanwhile, on the Dread Sun, High Overlord Zorak sat in silence. His ship limped through space. Engines flickered. Morale was gone. Most of his fleet was destroyed, and worse, his name would now be known across the galaxy as the fool who failed to crush a low-tech species. But he still had one plan left. He turned to his private channel. "Connect me to the homeworld," he ordered. A blurry hologram appeared. His brother, Lord Sarox, head of the Valtraxian Inner Council. "We underestimated Earth," Zorak admitted. "I noticed," Sarox replied coldly. "They have advanced weapons, AI, fleets, cloaked systems, but they're still small. One planet. We are many." Zorak leaned in. "Then send everything." "The full armada," Sarox nodded slowly. "The Council will decide back on Earth." President Lang stood before a black wall in the war bunker. On it were glowing dots. Earth's Ghostline fleet. What if they call for help? One advisor asked. They already did, General Okoro replied. Then we'll have an entire empire at our doorstep. Lang said nothing for a moment. Then he turned to the team. Then we show them the doorstep is guarded by fire on the dark edge of the solar system. The Ghostline fleet moved like shadows. Each ship had quantum core engines, making them almost undetectable. They traveled faster than light, without light. They used silent wave pulses to talk between themselves. No one could intercept. And in their cores were battle minds, not just AI, but learning machines designed to read enemies, guess next moves, and react before even a thought was formed. They were not designed by Earth's government. They were built by the Earth Accord, a silent group of scientists and generals formed after the first alien contact 50 years ago. A group that believed Earth needed a sword in the shadows, just in case. Now, the sword was moving. Hours later, a Valtraxian scout ship entered the far end of the solar system. Its mission: watch Earth from a distance, map weak points, prepare for full invasion. The ship slowed near Saturn. The crew relaxed. Then their screens went dark. Engines failed. Comms went silent. Outside, 7 black ships appeared. No lights, no sound, no warning. The Valtraxian captain screamed, "Shields up!" Too late. The scout ship was erased from existence. At Valtraxian High Command, Lord Sarox received the final message. Then silence, scout ship destroyed. No trace left. The Council began to argue. Earth is becoming a threat. They are still only one world. But they have machines that outsmart our best tech. Sarox raised his hand. We do not fear Earth, but we will respect the fire they've shown. Then what do? Sarox's eyes narrowed. We prepare for something Earth never expects. Back on Earth, Commander Ray sat at her station. The TSS Valiant was now joined by new ships from the Ghostline. Space above. Earth looked different now, darker, more powerful. Humanity had grown, and the galaxy had noticed. She turned to her crew. We've shown them our strength. But we're not finished, Knox asked. Then what's next? Ray smiled. We go to them. On the final screen, one last image showed Earth's new formation. Ships aligned, shields glowing, black hulls shining under the starlight. A message was sent from Earth to all major civilizations. Earth will not be caged. We will not be threatened. We are not afraid. We are coming. The stars burned red in the sky. War was coming again, but this time Earth was not waiting. The humans were done with defense. Now they would finish it. On the edge of the Orion Path, a massive fleet of Valtraxian warships moved through space like a swarm. Over 2,000 ships, heavy destroyers, dreadnoughts, supply vessels, scout ships, all sent from the Empire's core world. At the center was the Emperor's personal flagship, a dark, sharp craft 3 times the size of Earth's largest station. Inside, Lord Sarox stood tall. His black robes shimmered under pale lights. His face was calm, but his hands were tight. Prepare for full strike, he said. They humiliated us once. That will never happen again. But deep in the same star system, Earth's Ghostline fleet had arrived first. They were already inside the system, cloaked, silent and watching. Commander Ray, aboard the TSS Valiant, floated calmly in the middle of it all. She stood with her arms crossed, looking at the massive Empire fleet from behind the invisible shield of Earth's tech. They don't know we're already here, said Knox. They never learn, Ray replied. That's what makes them easy to beat in space. Timing is everything, and Earth had planned this moment for years. Every Ghostline ship had mapped Valtraxian weak spots, their communication patterns, their shield reboots, their emergency jump delays. Now, the humans would use it all, back in Earth's war bunker. President Lang looked at the dark screen. Are you sure? He asked General Okoro. Okoro nodded. Yes, sir. This is their full military force. If we break it, the Empire can't recover for 100 years. Lang stayed silent, then gave one short nod. Do it! In space, Commander Ray whispered one word: engage. Everything exploded into motion. Earth's ghostline fleet lit up space like thunder in the void. Black ships shot forward, faster than light, faster than thought. Valtraxian ships didn't even have time to power up weapons. The first wave was hit with precision attacks. Command bridges destroyed. Engines sliced clean. Shield nodes disabled by invisible energy spikes. They were falling apart and didn't know why. Inside the Valtraxian flagship, alarms screamed, multiple ships down. Where are the enemy targets? We don't see them. Lord Sarox clenched his teeth. Find them! But there was nothing to find. The human ships were ghosts. They hit, vanished, then hit again, and again, and again. The second wave of Earth's fleet joined the strike. This time, human warships with live crews, ships like the TSS Honor, the TSS Night Star, and the TSS Harbinger moved in behind the Ghostline units. Together, they formed a full circle around the Empire's forces, on board the Night Star. Captain Ellis shouted, "Fire disruptor missiles!" The front cannons launched glowing blue bolts into the enemy line. Each missile broke into 100 microshards, each one targeted by AI to hit ship joints and power. Cause: it was surgical warfare, and it worked. Valtraxian warships tried to escape, but Earth had closed the exit routes. There, ships couldn't jump. Every path was cut off. Jamming fields, blackout zones, energy nets. They were trapped in a perfect web. Inside the Empire fleet, fear grew. The galaxy's strongest navy was being torn apart by a planet they once laughed at. Now, no one was laughing. Back on the Valiant. Commander Ray looked at the data feed. Over 700 ships disabled, Knox said, and rising. What's our loss count? Knox paused. 2 ships hit. Minor damage. No lives lost. Ray nodded. She turned to the communication officer. Send this message to every Empire frequency. The officer did. Across the enemy fleet, a human voice spoke again. This is Earth. We asked for peace. You brought war. You showed us what fear looks like. So we became what fear looks like on the Valtraxian bridge. Lord Sarox stood frozen. He had led the full force of the Empire to crush Earth, and Earth had been waiting for him. His fleet was burning. His men were silent. His legacy was collapsing. Suddenly, something changed. On Earth's side, the fire stopped. Human ships slowed down. One final message came through. You can leave, this once. But if you return, you will not find mercy. You will find extinction. Sarox breathed hard. He stared at the stars. He wanted revenge, but he also wanted to live. Signal retreat, he said at last. The Valtraxian ships that were left limped away, cracked, damaged, some barely moving. They crawled back into the stars like dying beasts, and Earth watched, unmoving. In the shadows, the galaxy trembled. Other empires saw what had happened. They saw Earth rise, a planet once considered soft, kind, foolish, now deadly intelligent and merciless when pushed. Back on Earth, celebrations began, but not on the military decks, not in the control rooms, not with Commander Ray. She stood in silence, watching the stars. Knox asked, "Why aren't we cheering?" Ray spoke quietly, "Because this was only one empire. And the galaxy has many, but now they know." A week passed since the last Valtraxian ship limped out of Earth's system. The sky was quiet again, but the galaxy was not. The galaxy was watching. Everyone wanted to know, what would Earth say now? In the Galactic Council chamber, planet Scylla, over 200 species gathered in silence, tall beings of light, short creatures with 6 arms. Machine minds in metal shells. They had all seen the footage, Earth's fleet, the defeat of the mighty Valtraxian Empire, the impossible weapons, the ghost ships, and the final voice. You will not find mercy. You will find extinction. It was not just a threat, it was a statement of power, and the Council didn't know what to do with it. Inside the Earth Council bunker, President Lang sat with General Okoro and Commander Ray. They were not celebrating. They were planning. "Messages are pouring in," said Okoro. All the major civilizations want to meet. Some are scared. Some want peace. Some want our tech, Lang leaned back. And some want revenge. Ray nodded. That's why we need to speak before they do. Lang looked around the table. Then let's send the message. On Earth's orbiting beacon station, Signal 9. The crew opened a global channel. For the first time, Earth sent a broadcast to the entire galaxy. A white screen appeared. Then Commander Ray's face. Her voice was calm. Her tone was ice. This is Commander Elara Ray of Earth. We were silent for a long time. We watched. We listened. We saw how empires rise, how the strong crush the weak. You looked at Earth and saw a small planet, a soft world. You thought we were an easy target. You were wrong. You brought your full fleet to our skies. You outnumbered us 10-1, and we broke you. Earth is not seeking war. We are not conquerors. But understand this, if you threaten us again, you will find no forgiveness. We don't kneel, we don't run, and we never forget. Earth remembers everything. The screen went black. The galaxy went silent. On planet Yennari. The Yennari Empress watched the message in silence. Her advisors whispered, "Should we reach out? Send a gift?" She raised her hand. "Earth has changed," she said, "and we must change with it." On the ruins of the Valtraxian throne world, Lord Sarok stood in his burnt palace. His soldiers were rebuilding. But morale was low. The Empire's pride was shattered, and his name would always be remembered with one word: defeat. He stared into the sky and whispered, "We should have listened." Meanwhile, on the moon, Earth was building something new, a station unlike any before, not for defense, not for escape, but for watching and for warning. The humans called it Gatewatch. From here, they could scan deep space, track every movement from the stars, and prepare. For the next time Commander Ray visited the site, she looked out the massive observation glass. The stars were still beautiful, peaceful, but she knew peace never lasted. Knox walked beside her. "Do you think they'll try again?" Ray didn't answer at first. Then she said, "Someone always does." But this time Earth would be ready, back on Earth. A young girl stood in her school classroom. Her teacher asked, "Can anyone tell me what happened last week?" The girl raised her hand. "We made them run away," she said proudly. The class laughed. The teacher smiled. "Yes, but more than that. We showed the galaxy that Earth stands strong. In every corner of the planet, people had hope. For the first time, they felt united, not by fear, but by pride, because they had faced the strongest empire in the stars, and won in a dark part of space. A probe floated near a dead planet. No one knew it was there, but Earth knew. The Ghost Line fleet was still watching, still hidden, still waiting, because Earth had learned one lesson above all. Victory is not the end. It is only the warning. Final scene. A small alien escape pod drifted far from the battlefield. Inside it, a lone Valtraxian pilot breathed slowly. He had survived, but he would never forget what he saw. No ship, no sound, just laughter. Human laughter echoing. Through the void, he turned on his recording device and spoke one line before falling asleep. "If you ever see a Terran warship in your stars, don't speak, don't shoot, just run."